A lot of times when I think back on how it is that I became a priest, I'm reminded when I was in college, and my thought was always, what do I want to do with my life? And I think that's pretty common for any college kid. You're thinking about your future. And priesthood definitely wasn't on the table. There were a lot of things about the priesthood that I was drawn to. I liked the idea of speaking, of preaching. I liked the idea of teaching in the schools and being able to encounter families in their day-to-day life. But I always came back to that idea that I wasn't worthy to be a priest, to do that, to stand in the person of Christ. And I'm not. I'm not worthy. No one is worthy to be in the presence of Christ like that. But then I changed the question, and my spiritual director helped me do that. And I changed it from, what do I want to do, to what does God want me to do? Why did God make me? And that really kind of changed how I thought of things. Because even though I wasn't worthy, I was called. And that was very humbling. And I was only really able to say yes after years of prayer and discernment. But I'm so happy that I did say yes, because the priesthood is beautiful, and it's definitely necessary. And as much as I like doing all those things of preaching and teaching and getting into families' lives, the most important thing a priest does is he lets people go to heaven. Whether it's through the sacrament of Holy Communion, where receiving the Eucharist, one is filled with grace and brought into communion with Jesus, or through the sacrament of confession. I'm always humbled hearing people's confessions. Oftentimes I think I should be on the other side of the screen because they're holier than I am. But being able to encounter God's mercy and really just pull those souls out of just the darkest periods and bring them to the light of Christ, and to actually be able to say, I absolve you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. It's beautiful. People are really seeking that reconciliation. And there's that beautiful sacrament of the anointing of the sick. When you walk into that room and the family's there and the person's on the bed, and it's really the darkest hour for some families. You get to anoint them. And the family knows that when their mom or dad or grandma closes their eyes and they wake up, they'll wake up in heaven. And that's something I'm not worthy of, but that's so beautiful. Being able to bring people to heaven. I'm reminded when I was in college discerning, I was in church and I was praying, and there was no one else at church. I could hear them all outside, but I was just alone. And my prayer was that they would all come to know that love of Jesus Christ, to know that love that's more important than anything else in the world. And I think if you're a young man who has that desire to bring people to Christ, to bring people to heaven, that God might be calling you to be a priest. And you might be thinking, I'm not worthy to be a priest. Well, you're not. No one is. But you might be called. And if you're called, it means that God's made your heart to be a priest, and that you will be fulfilled and you'll be happy being a priest. And in doing so, you'll bring many souls to heaven. And God willing, you'll bring your own soul to heaven. So if God's calling you to be a priest, have courage and say yes.